Good afternoon. It's an honor for us to have here Dr. Mohammed Omran, all the way from Cairo. Thank you for the honor of joining us at the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy here in Berlin. We would like to ask you a few questions just to hear your thoughts, opinions on some very important issues.
What does cultural diplomacy mean to you, and could you please give us an example?
Actually, it means a lot because the way they are giving their activities is directed towards having an economic development and innovation part of the economic growth itself. And the point is that you cannot talk about economic growth in terms of the economic side only, but you need to take into consideration the social aspects, the cultural aspects, the innovative aspects. And again, this is why I'm very much interested in the activities and the way they are tackling the economic growth and their impact on the people in the right way, because now people talking about the quality of the growth, not only the quantity of the growth itself.
In your opinion, how important is the role of cultural diplomacy in developing countries? And do you maybe know an effective way of applying the cultural diplomacy in those countries?
I guess it's one of the issues. If you're talking about the neighboring between the south and the east, the south and
The north?
the south and the north, you are right. The Mediterranean partnership between Europe and African countries, for example. I guess this is very important to understand the role in that, and we understand that the South get many aids from the European countries, and it could be framed in a way that the cultural diplomacy could help in that way of about how to bring the know-how, the technical assistance, and also some programs to help the cultural issues in our countries, like woman empowerment, for example, about the equality in gender between men and women in other countries, the role in economic growth. And I think this issue could be framed in a way to help the communication and the relationship between the South and the North.
Thank you.
This conference is about global trends and creative economies. In your opinion, what can developing countries do in order to get the most of implementing creative economies and in that way boost their own economy?
As you mentioned, it's a very good issue about the global trend, because now, as I was mentioning in my presentation, people are not talking about numbers, but they are talking by the end of the day how this will impact the people. And you need to be innovative in your decision-making process about your economic policies. And you do not need to put policies only to get numbers, but also to make sure that everybody will get benefiting from this number. And I think this is a very important issue. This is the new trend, is that you need to talk about the quality, not about the quantity. And the very much important issue is that you need to put the economic policies that takes into consideration the cultural aspects, the social aspects, the gender aspects, to make sure that the total output from any economic plans is the people, and the people.
And what kind of problems do you think that developing countries are facing or might face when they try to engage in creative economies?
I think it's the knowledge. Very important issue is you need to have the technical assistance issues. You need to have the know-how before you start talking about that. So sometimes the people are stuck with the models or about the old kind of thinking. But now we are moving to a new era, especially after the financial crisis and especially after the economic challenges that we face, not only in the emerging or developing countries, but as well as in mature countries. So you need to find the new direction and the new thinking and the know-how to understand how to further develop your economy and to bring your people up to the standards.
Thank you.
The last question about, we are here at the ICD conducting research on corporate cultural diplomacy and how companies can engage in cultural diplomacy initiatives. And so what do you think as an economist can be the role of corporations and companies in promoting cultural understandings?
I guess one thing the ICD can try to do is put the best practices. The term is related to for example, corporate social responsibilities, that every company should take care of their society and their community and their put the good cultural issues in their programs, because actually the cultural issues is not about something that you are talking about, but it should be implemented, and it will have an impact on the way you are dealing with the people in your community and the way they are feeling satisfied about the performance of the company and the society they are working on. And I think the ICD can put in place the manual or the best practice of how to help companies to deal with their community.
Definitely interesting. I have another question also that I would add, just because you were talking about in your speech about creating a business-friendly environment in Egypt for companies to come, and what would be the role of the state in this process of creating this business-friendly environment, and how?
I think this was something in which we were talking about, is that if the ICD, for example, next year decide to have some kind of conference or event in Egypt, just to bring foreigners to our country, just to give a very clear and strong message that we are part of this kind of development, and Egypt are very much welcoming the ICD and the foreign investors, and we will put in place the mechanism to understand that the attracting investors is very much important to drive our economy. I guess this is one of the ideas I was discussing with Mark about if Egypt will be in a position to host such kind of conference next year. I guess this will be a very good signal for our country, actually.
We're looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dr. Omran, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.
It's been an honor and a privilege to have you here with us today.
Honor is mine,
I
actually.
hope you enjoy the rest of your
Thank you
day.
very much.
Thank you.